So it's a horrible, horrible day. It's windy and rainy and we're on a tiny stretch of beach.
We have a challenge though. We're doing sieving today.
Yes. So let's see what we can find. So I've been checking the tide line because we've got a little bit extra longer here than we normally do, and we don't often do that. And what a random find that I see. Is in what condition is it going to be? Oh, huh. Wow. I really thought it was going to be a military button, but it doesn't appear to have anything on it. But that lovely sort of frame edging. Goodness, obviously it's got a hole in it. Never found a button like that. Wow, okay. I wonder what else is here along this tide edge. Okay, so I bent down. Well, I bent down to look at this. Which turned out not to be interesting. And then I turned and saw this. The button tied. Oh, and it is glass. It's a white milk glass button. And then, as I was looking at that, I turned. Oh, and I saw that. I don't know how old it is, but it's exciting. I think it's probably just modern. But a marble is a marble. Wow. What an excellent start to the day.
I'm hoping the sound's going to be okay because I've lost my muff and I'm now employing a piece of fluffy fabric. But I all because silent. There's a piece of coral. I don't know where there's coral on this beach. Putting on my knee pads. Oh, it's a washer. I really thought it was a coin. Oh well. But this looks like a good patch to do a bit of sieving. See how many sieves we can do. Okay, I've got some goo. Need water really, but I don't have any. Let's have a look around in here. Nothing in that one. Toothpaste. Ball. Nothing in that one. Oh, and the sun's coming out. Got some there. You can just see there. Three. Oh. Some miscellaneous pieces. Nope. 5. there's anything here. Apart from a tiny little crab. Sorry, crab. I'll put it back gently, I promise.
I think I've reached the sweet spot. Is that a pen nib? Ah, is it broken? Oh, it is a pen nib though. Does it say anything? It says stainless. But a pen nib. Okay, I want to carry on searching before the water comes too far in. That looks like it will be great for a miniature craft. What do we think? Washer? Oh, not even a washer. Is it anything? Take it just in case, but I don't suppose it is. What else is here though? Got a nail. Oh, oh, it's got writing on it. Jackpot. Oh, does it have a street on it? Okay. What is this little piece of metal then, and what does it say? Yes, I think it might be a company name, and then I think it says 152 Newcon Street. So that might have some history. 11. Might be a key fob or... Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's been ages since we found a good piece of metal with writing on. So that potentially could have some amazing history. Awesome. Let's keep going. That's a fancy shape, and I'm sure it will come in handy. Sort of flat on the top, but then loopy. That must have had a purpose. So I just flipped something and I wasn't really paying attention, and then it's come out like this. Is it a coin? Or is it a end of a stud? Oh gosh, sorry. I think it's just the end of a tack or something, but you never know.
Try this spot. Right, just a square nail. Actually, it's not. Oh yes, it is square. That's quite a nice nail. I'll take the nail. The post office seal. Always know you're on the right track. If you ever see these, there's more metal bits. Anything here? Look how sunny it is now. But look, it's a button. Doesn't say anything on it though, unfortunately. Another zipper. Oh, it's nice when the sun shines. I really hope the sound's okay with this. With my fluffy ness works. Take that just in case it's got something on it.
What have you found?
Nothing really. Button.
Oh, nice. Any writing in it?
No, and a piece of coral. That's just a piece of. Yeah, I haven't. I don't think sieving's really working.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
These three things I found on the tide line.
Wow! Is that a button?
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's a button. Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, a nice marble.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Then my best thing so far is this. It's got company and street name.
Wow!
It says 11 on the back.
Oh. Oh, good research.
Yes, yeah.
Nice.
Do you want to put it in the box?
Yeah, I will. What have we got in here then? Wasn't in there. The scoop with a piece of typeface. Oh, that might be an M or a W. This might be a good spot to keep going then. I'd say it's a W. Scoop number 8. I haven't actually found anything in one yet. No, I don't think so. What's this?
I know I've just come and sat in your spot. No, but I think I found one of our favourite things to find here.
Oh, joking, babe. Where'd you get the box?
Oh, it's over here though.
Take my find.
Well, you were in that spot, but
I wouldn't move to there. What is it?
this. It is. It's a book clasp. It's a book clasp.
Oh, is it decorated?
I don't know. Let me have a look. I don't think it's got any pattern on it, but it is a nice shape.
It's pretty.
Wow, we absolutely love book clasps, and we find them quite well. We used to find them here a lot more, but we've found quite a few here now.
Yeah.
Definitely a collection. Beautiful little metal decorative book clasp. Yes, it's actually a very, very pretty piece of pottery under it too. Lovely. See what else is here. It's an interesting metal shape. Ooh, it's got just slight remnants of writing on, so maybe when we clean it we'll be able to see what that says.
Kind of camouflage with the seaweed.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, wow, that's frosted.
One of those here before.
No. Oh wow, it's a big chunky
Oh,
one.
and it's bubbly. That's a good find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that a lot.
Number 10. Nope.
A round seal. What is it? A C? And a K.S? K.B? Ooh, nice. Fortunately, we won't be able to find out what sort of company or anything it was by just initials. I think I've just found some typeface. I have. I think it's a D, a capital D. Or it was a lowercase b, D. Is that going to be exciting and pretty, or is it just a stud? It's a stud, but it's a sort of faceted decorative one, so I imagine that's probably something decorative, I'd say. Clean it up and have a look.
I've sort of given up with the sieve. It doesn't really work. What that would have been. rain. Chimo something. Ooh. Look that up if I can find it. Chinosplasm. Be interesting to look up. Sitting on the tide line. A little paint pan. I think it's Reeves. Oh, nice. Looks like it's still got the paint in it. It's grey, but I'm not sure about that. I think it was burnt.
Okay, I think I may have found the find of the day.
Using Kate's camera now. She still has a muff. Is it a collar stud?
I think it's a collar stud. Oh, a cufflink. Oh, a collar stud.
It's a collar stud. Ah, that's
Lion brand. It says on it. Look, it is a mother of pearl.
wow. Do you think that one's silver?
I don't know.
I doubt it too.
Lion brand.
Wow, that's beautiful. How many of these? 3 now. 2, 1 gold.
1 rose gold.
Yes, this is the third one. Another collection.
It would be. Now I want it to be silver because then we'd have one.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Oh, it's stunning. Lion brand. To find out what that means.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Isn't it? That is stunning. That's definitely the find of the day.
Nice. Yay! Seems to be a common occurrence. Trying to figure out where the wind's coming from. Wow, that one's I think there's another, what they call a burner phone. Found something I like to find. I wonder how complete it is. Oh, oh, it is. Oh, that's a weird one. Why does it look like that? Ooh, that looks like it could be interesting to learn about. I do love a key. I'll put glasses on and see what it says. It's a Chubb's key. I've heard of Chubb's, but it's such a strange shape. Like a not normal key shape. And it's got that big cut out there. That would be interesting to research. Maybe it's luggage again. That's what we seem to find the keys for here. In the same place as the key. I would be zooming in, not zooming out. Oh, he's World War One for sure. Look at his little kind of, I can't remember what they're called. They used to wear them in the desert, didn't I think? Look at him. I know he doesn't have a head. But we rarely find lead figures here, do we?
No. And he's like ripe for putting one of our heads on.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good spot because I think...
Oh, you found something really good.
I think I've just found another of one of our favourite things to find here. Is it?
Another book clasp?
Another book clasp.
Oh.
Ooh.
What's... Ooh.
Looks like one.
It does. It's just weird that it's like... Yeah. It's like a hinge. Maybe it's a hinge, but why would it have those? Oh, it's still beautiful.
It's lovely. Oh my goodness, 2.
Wow. Okay, we'll keep looking around here. Well, it might have writing on it. I can't tell. I'll have to look. Have to clean it and see.
Look at that melted blob. Drip.
It looks like... Oh, it's Rupert's...
Prince Rupert?
Prince Rupert's drop.
Oh no, what are they called?
I think there's this reference.
Yeah.
Prince Rupert's drop.
Come in very handy for a craft, I imagine. So this shirt I just found in my pocket, and I don't know the last time I wore this coat. So, and I know we haven't done the shirt story and we haven't even cleaned it. So I'm going to say this is this week's shirt. And we should, obviously it's missing some of the important stuff, but it's all in that belt, so we should be able to find out some history of that. See if I can clean it here. Oh, the sun's coming out. 3 something and 3 something hotel and restaurant. Oh, that. I think we can probably find that. Oh dear. Wet legs. I don't have my phone on me at the moment, so I can't Google. But based on the picture, could that say 3? Because it's NU. Could it say 3 Nuns hotel and restaurant, and they're the 3 nuns? Is that? Okay, we might guess it's the 3 Nuns hotel and restaurant, which is an excellent name. The shed. I'm using detective skills. I think it's the 3 Nuns hotel and restaurant, and those are the 3 nuns. Because it says 3 NU hotel and restaurant, and it's got 3 holy women. So
that sounds interesting.
It does. Sounds like it might have a sort of folklore story. Is it going to have writing? No. It's quite a flat one though. A little fly button. So this shed, it's got some absolutely incredible history. So the 3 Nuns public house, tavern, inn, or as it later was known, the 3 Nuns hotel and restaurant, was located on the north side of Aldgate High Street, west of what is now the Aldgate underground station. For centuries, the 3 Nuns was a landmark in Aldgate due to its prime location at the entrance into the city. There are multiple references, whether it be a coaching inn, hotel or tavern, throughout London's past. It was mentioned in the will of Mr. William Burford in 1390. Mr. Burford left his principal tenant, the 3 Nuns, to his son. Author Daniel Defoe mentions the 3 Nuns in the same location almost 300 years later, to reference a large plague pit in Aldgate. He mentions it in the history of the plague. In 1876, many of the timber-framed buildings in Aldgate were torn down to accommodate building Metropolitan Line and Aldgate Station. The majority of the buildings on High Street were not rebuilt, however, the 3 Nuns Hotel was. There was a popular venue for political meetings, weddings, and a place for local tradesmen to drink. But the 3 Nuns is probably most famous because in 1888 the 3 Nuns found itself in the papers several times referenced in relation to the unsolved Jack the Ripper murders. So lots of this history is in reference to the Butcher's Row suspect, and was he Jack the Ripper? So in his memoirs, the retired City of London police inspector Robert Sagar reportedly said about the Jack the Ripper's murders,
"We had good reason to suspect a man who worked in Butcher's Row, Aldgate. We watched him carefully. There was no doubt that this man was insane, and after a time his friends thought it advisable to have him removed to a private asylum. After he was removed, there were no more Ripper atrocities. Suspicion fell upon a man who, without a doubt, was the murderer. Identification being impossible, he could not be charged.
So Butcher's Row, the name originates from the long before Victorian times when animals were herded up from Essex along the Whitechapel Road to the old city gate. Old Gate. Yeah. And on Butcher's Row was the Three Nuns Hotel and Restaurant. So there's a suggestion that a better location for surveillance of a suspect would have been the Three Nuns Hotel at number 10. Their location seems like an ideal stakeout spot because it was adjacent to and partly above the Aldgate railway station. In 1892, Frederick W. Ayers, the landlord of the hotel, was mentioned during the retirement of Frederick G. Aberline from the Metropolitan Police Force, who was the highest-ranking Chief Inspector at the Criminal Investigations Department of Scotland Yard, and he was investigating the Jack the Ripper's murders. And his retirement party was held at Three Nuns Hotel and Restaurant, and obviously he went there a lot. But most of the history comes due to a man named Albert Backert. Backert. And he was the chairman of the Whitechapel Vigilante Committee. So this is an article that appeared in the West Somerset Free Press on Saturday the 6th of October 1888.
A man named Albert Backert has made the following statement. I was in a Three Nuns Hotel Aldergate on Saturday night when a man got into a conversation with me. He asked me questions which now appeared to me to have some bearing upon the recent murders. He wanted to know whether I knew what sort of loose women used the public bar at that house, and when they usually left the street outside, and where they were in the habit of going. He asked further questions, and from his manner seemed to be up to no good purpose. He appeared to be shabby genteel sort of a man, and was dressed in black clothes. He wore a black felt hat and carried a black bag. We came out together at closing time, 12 o'clock, and I left him outside Aldergate railway station.
And then he went on to make a further statement.
The young man Albert Backert of 13 Newham Street, Whitechapel, made a further statement on Monday morning. It will be remembered that the man who spoke to him in the Three Nuns Hotel on Saturday night carried a black shiny bag, and it is remarkable that the only man Mrs. Mortimer observed in Berners Street, nearly 2 hours afterwards, also carried a black shiny bag. Albert Backert says, on Saturday night at about 7 minutes to 12, I entered the Three Nuns Hotel Aldergate. While in there, an elderly woman very shabbily dressed came in and asked me to buy some matches. I refused and she went out. A man who had been standing by me remarked that those persons were a nuisance, to which I responded, yes. He then asked me to have a glass with him, but I refused, as I had just called for my one myself. He then asked me if I knew how old some of the women were who were in the habit of walking outside. I replied that I knew, or I thought some of them who looked about 25 were over 35, the reason they looked young being on account of their powder and paint. He asked if I could tell him where they usually went, and I replied that I had heard that some went to places in Oxford Street, Whitechapel, others to some houses in Whitechapel Road and others to Bishopsgate Street. He then asked whether I thought they would go with him down to Northumberland Alley, a dark and lonely court in Fenchurch Street. I said I did not know, but supposed they would. He then went outside and spoke to the woman who was selling matches and gave her something. I bid him good night at about 10 minutes past 12. I believe a woman was waiting for him. I do not think I could identify the woman, as I did not take particular notice of her. I should know the man again. He was a dark man, about 38 years of age, height above 5 feet 6 or 7 inches. He wore a black felt hat, dark clothes, a morning coat, black tie, and carried a black shiny bag.
It's the shiny black bag because a Mrs. Palmier, a young woman who sells roasted chestnuts at the corner of Wydegate Street, about 2 minutes from the scene of one of the murders.
She said that about 12 o'clock this morning, a man dressed like a gentleman came to her and said, I suppose you have heard about the murder in Dorset Street? She replied that she had, upon the man grinned and said, I know more about it than you. And he then stared into her face and went down Sandy's Row, a narrow thoroughfare which cuts across Wydegate Street. When he had got some way off, he looked back as if to see whether she was watching him, and then vanished. Mrs. Pommier said the man had a black moustache, was about 5 feet 6 inches high, and wore a black silk hat, a black coat, and speckled trousers. He also carried a black shiny bag, about 1 foot in depth and 1.5 feet in length. Mrs. Pommier states further that the same man accosted 3 young unfortunates whom she knows on Thursday night, and they chaffed him and asked him what he had in the bag, and he replied, "Something that the ladies don't like." Mrs. Pommier told her story with every appearance of truthfulness.
It stands to reason that if most of the suspects were sort of around this area, and this was a very prominent in the hotel and restaurant and bar, that Jack the Ripper probably did
go in there.
Did visit there, yeah.
So this sherd could...
Because it's right round where lots of prostitutes worked at that time. So yeah, it's most likely that Jack the Ripper did visit this hotel and restaurant. And it gets mentioned a lot in the Jack the Ripper cases, and yeah, the Butcher Row suspect and Albert Backett's interview that he met who he believed was Jack the Ripper.
That's not very nice, is it, really?
It's not. But yeah, so that is... And I tried to find out why it was called the Three Nuns. There was a story that maybe the only thing I could ever find was about... In April 1502, the abbeys sent a gift of distilled water of roses to the Tower of London for Elizabeth of York, the wife of Henry VII. The Queen gave a gift of money to 3 nuns and a servant to the abbeys.
Yeah.
So
maybe. Yeah.
That's all I could find. But there's some amazing visuals of the hotel and signs, and it's been there for, well, it was there forever, but it got demolished in the 60s.
Oh, it's not there anymore?
Not there anymore. It's now a multi-storey hotel. I know. But hey,
we have a sherd.
We do have a sherd. We have a sherd that may have been in the... Jack the Ripper may have eaten off that plate.
Oh, that's...
Because it's 1891, and that's, that's sort of that's the age of where most places we go.
Oh, that kind of sends shivers down my spine a little bit.
Yes. Deplorable man. So we hope you, I don't know if enjoyed that third story is the right word, but it's interesting. It's interesting.
Well, that was our trip to a bit of a wet foreshore.
Yes.
To Metal Beach. We haven't been looking for metal for a while, have we? Scraping. It was quite successful.
Yeah.
The sieve wasn't.
No.
Every time I think when I go with the sieve, yes, this is... and it never is.
Yeah, we'll have another go on Treasure Beach.
Yeah, go for the pebbles, through the stones and things. I think... I'll give that a go. But I'm not sure. It worked when we went with Tom, didn't it? Tom
We did, yes.
sieved and it was amazing, but
That's Tom finds.
Yeah.
But we did find some good stuff.
Yeah. You found better stuff than me, but in the end I found some stuff, so that's okay. What was your favourite find?
I think it's probably got to be the mother of pearl collar stud, the Lion Brand collar stud, and I can't find much about Lion Brand other than that it was on Bond Street, which is obviously very infamous in London for being fancy street. And Lion Brand was on Bond Street, and this address is 139 New Bond Street. And we will tell you who that is.
Yeah, there's lots of history here.
There is, yeah. So yeah, this is a fancy collar stud, mother of pearl one, and it's amazing that it still has the inlay.
It is beautiful.
And we said we had... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's not precious metal though, unfortunately.
No. But we said we had 3, but this will be number 4.
Oh, okay. Whoops, I can't remember them all then.
Yeah, no. So obviously we've got the rose gold one that you found, the gold one that I found, the patterned gold one, and then the previous most recent one was this white gold one. Remember? With the beautiful pattern. absolutely adore this collection.
They're very pretty,
They're
aren't
beautiful.
they? We'll have to find a way of like displaying them somehow.
Yeah.
It's difficult. We'll just put them in our... We're going to have to show our mini museum again, because we had to go through the mini museum to find these things and some other things. And I love it. I love the mini museum. It's a beautiful thing. I'll have to show it again.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that addition to the collection.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you found 3 and I've only found 1?
Yes.
I thought it was the way.
I don't know.
Apart from frozen Charlottes.
And book clasps.
Have I found quite a lot of book clasps?
Yeah, you found almost all of them, except the new ones that I found. So what was your favourite find?
The soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly.
Look at his fancy stripy socks.
Well, are they socks? They're not like... I thought
armour.
like guard... I can't... I was meant to look it up, but they wore them, didn't... Like... garters? No, I can't... There's a word for them.
And you have got...
I've got some heads out.
some selections of heads to see if any of them fit.
I think that... I mean, it's obviously not the same
No.
soldier, but head look!
Oh! That looks really good.
It does.
That's a really detailed face. It's almost, he's got like pink cheeks. Wow.
And
Just
I've
gotta
got some
see.
more bases. I've got more bases somewhere.
Oh yeah,
but yeah.
because that one.
Yeah.
His feet, he don't really,
Yeah.
yeah. Can we just see what the other heads would have looked like? Is this one too big? Oh, okay. I'm sort of obsessed with
putting heads onto bodies now. I don't know. I've only got a certain amount now. I put them all in a safe place, and now I don't know where that is.
Look. Oh, that's so fun.
It will be fun. I'm going to find them. We've got to sort our space out. We're still sitting on this roundup because they haven't answered us yet. So yes, here's my favourite. It's pushing me to want to make our lead army. I think they look amazing. I do like the key as well, though. Yeah,
which frustratingly, we might need your help with this one. It says Chubb's 4-lever, and then it says Samkey Sheldon. Sheldon! 2 seconds.
That's how good you looked at it before I cleaned it.
Sheldon. I still don't think anything will come up, but no, still didn't help. But so it's 4-lever, so that's a 4-lever lock, which most, don't like. Lots of 2 and 3, and that's like for protection. So and it says 1, 2, 3 on the back. So that's the key number, or the number to the thing that it goes to. And then it also says, 1, 2, 3 along the bottom too. And it says Samkey Sheldon. And look at the shape of it.
It's odd, isn't it?
It's not a door like a lever key. It could be... I can't find any pictures of any keys that look like it. Is it luggage again? Like I said, the other ones we found there were all American luggage. I don't think so. I think it's like a safe sort box? Of a safe box, or like a drawer, like a lock. Yeah, it's something
precious,
safe. Yeah, and it's. But I can't see any pictures of keys. So please, we absolutely adore keys.
I love keys. They can tell you so much. It's really weird.
And this one, you've cleaned it so well, and you can read it all so clearly.
But we don't know what it is.
We can't seem to find the history of it. But it's beautiful. I love that it's what was 1, 2, 3. Yeah. How many keys do we have now?
I don't know. Again, I don't know where they are.
They're all in one place somewhere.
Yes, I know. I'll find them. We're going to sort it all out.
So then, talking about history, we have this tiny little piece of, it says 11. Oh, it's almost got a hint. This little piece of metal says Horton and Gun, 169, 139, New Bond Street, which is unusual but this must have been their address before their most famous address, which was 162 New Bond Street. But Horton and Gunn were, well, they were bookbinders, but they also made stationery boxes and correspondence boxes, and they were very fancy. William Horton originally established his business in 1822, but by 1841 he was based at 162 Bond Street, London. So maybe this is their address after that, because it's New Bond Street. It wasn't until 1868, there you go, that he went into partnership with Charles Henry Gunn. Known as Horton and Gunn, the business remained at the same Bond Street address until it was bought out by Asprey, its next-door neighbours, in 1906.
Oh, Asprey's.
Mm.
They're very fancy too. Very expensive things.
Yes. Well, there is, here's a picture of the HMS Crescent 1898 red volume, which is a photograph album containing 51 photographs of HMS Crescent, crew and captain, showing life on board HMS Crescent during a voyage under the command of King George V, when Duke of York, in 1898.
The grand old Duke of York.
The grand old Duke of York. And it was presented to George, Duke of York, later King George V. People involved, creators, Horton and Gunn, binders in London.
Ah.
So they made the photo album that was gifted to King George. And there's all sorts of, they made beautiful boxes.
It's strange, isn't it? That beach has given us some really high class. It was quite posh rubbish.
Yes.
Weirdly. Some of the buttons we found came from really expensive. Some of the bottles we found were really expensive.
I've just been looking, and look at this letterbox that Horton and Gunn made.
Huh?
Yeah, they made beautiful stuff. So that probably would have been on a piece of their very fancy stuff.
Fancy furniture.
Talking of fancy, we've got, unfortunately, this
I don't
one.
know how it happened. It was fine when I put it in the box. When it came out of the box, I can't even find the piece.
But this one has cleaned up nicely. And you think it could be silver?
Well, it seems silvery.
Might be.
I haven't cleaned up a lot of metal.
Yeah.
That doesn't usually come up that well unless it is actually
It might be like a really
plated.
Yeah.
It could be plated.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no hallmark on it that I can see.
But collections. The only other one I found is this broken one. I'm not sure if that is one, but it's part of it goes in the thing. What our beautiful book clasps, which every single one of these has come from that beach. So it seems that.
Oh, did I not find one on the Thames?
Oh.
I think I found that one on the Thames.
Oh, maybe that one was from the
Sorry, my
Thames.
nails are dirty. I've been digging in the allotment.
Maybe this one was from the Thames. And typically, yes, it's the most beautiful. The detail on it is stunning. And this one, is Henry Penn. I think we did the history of that when we found it. But yes.
Again, beautiful things, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm going to put the broken one in there anyway. How pretty.
So pretty.
Yeah, little metal things we do love to find. Another book class to add to the collection.
And they're much easier to store.
They are, yes.
to display.
Little round seals, some plain buttons, 2 typeface, which we can never seem to be able to stamp. We might have to get a stamping pad, like paper specifically for it. I think we might have to do that, and then maybe we'll do a special where we just stamp all of the typeface we have.
Try to make a sentence.
To help things.
But just make something.
These ones, we've got a W, and I think it's a D or an A. Oh, it might be an A, a lowercase a. What is an M or a lowercase a? So, do love typeface. Haven't found one of these in ages. This paint pan, and it's a Reeves school quality, made in England.
It's a bit burnt.
I like that though.
Yeah, it looked like the paint.
Yeah.
Button,
Marble, button, that
That's
just
broken,
slowly falling
fortunately,
up. Well, it was broken already, so it's just slowly.
The
Oh, dear.
coral.
Coral,
The
yeah.
coral. I don't. I
coral's
always
fine.
find coral there, don't we?
Yeah.
Which is really weird. Do you think it was
Lovely
ballast?
specimen. Maybe. Ballast is like they used to fill
Bottom of
bottoms
boats
of
to keep
ships
them low in the water.
with sort of be a natural detritus. So that's where we quite often get.
Shells
Shells
and
and
things
stuff
that would
that's
get
not
lots of
native.
coral, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the one you picked up, the St. Peter's? No, what's it?
St Edward's drop,
No, St. Rupert's.
St Rupert's drop,
Yes.
which we think this is not a
It's
St
not.
Rupert's drop, but
We think we have found one
we
once.
have actually. Is
Oh,
it
you're
in
going to go and get it in the museum.
So it was because of where we found it, we decided that this one maybe, even though, well, you can tell, can't you?
Yeah, that's wobblier, isn't it?
Yeah, that
that's
one's
very, very smooth.
Yeah. So a Prince Rupert's drop, also known as Dutch or Batavian tears. So first of all, we found this where we find all of the Dutch trade beads
And the prunt.
and the raspberry punt, which again is like could be very old Dutch glass. So they are toughened glass beads created by but they don't have holes in, by dropping molten glass into cold water, which causes it to solidify into a tadpole-shaped droplet with a long, thin tail. And basically, you can hit them with a hammer or shoot them with a bullet on the bulbous end, and it won't break. But it will break explosively if you break the little end. And we could find out if
I'm
it
not
is,
going to do that.
because we could hit it with a hammer, but we don't want to, we're too scared. But the drops are named after Prince Rupert of the Rhine, who brought them to England in 1660. Although they're reportedly being produced in the Netherlands earlier in the 17th century and have probably been known to glassmakers for much longer. They were studied as scientific curiosities by the Royal Society, and the unravelling of the principles of their unusual properties probably led to the development of the process for the production of toughened glass, patented in 1874.
We never talked about it, did we, at the time?
We didn't, because we'd never heard of them.
Someone commented, didn't they?
Yeah, someone commented and said, and then
That's
we looked
probably-
into them.
yeah.
And yeah, where we found it. And you can tell because this one's sort of shiny because it's clearly like melted glass that's like gone molten.
And it's
this
bobbly.
one, and it's bobbly and uneven, whereas this one is
Perfect.
perfect and shiny and smooth because it was probably dropped into cold water. So put that one safely back in the museum.
So lots of history going on.
And this is a broken, it wouldn't have been much bigger than this though actually, a Chino splash, which were sold in Woolworths in the 1920s to 30s, and they had a little hole in the end, and you put them on the end of your tap for anti-splash and as a filter. So that's what that is.
For our American viewers, Woolworths was a shop that ran for years and years and years and years and years, but then it closed down.
Yes. Yeah, and the whole nation wept the day that Woolworths closed down.
I know.
We've spoken about Woolworths before.
I think we've probably found bottles with Woolworths on it, haven't we?
No, there was something else I think that was sold in Woolworths.
Right.
At least we've spoken about Woolworths before.
I miss the pick and mix.
Yeah, although I really don't. It was huge, and you can't imagine what
Hands
hands have
but-
been. Yeah.
Yeah, but when I was little, it was like, you get pick and mixes everywhere now, but you only ever got them at Woolworths.
I miss the penny pick and mix from the post office down the road that no longer exists.
You don't get that
It
anymore
was a
either.
penny.
Yeah.
You could take 10p to the shop and get 10
Yeah.
penny sweets.
Lucky to get one these days.
You cannot get a sweet
I
for
sound like
10p.
an old woman.
I was going to say the why, but you can't get a sweet for 10p. Yeah, the least,
There must
the
be.
minimum is like 15p.
Wow. It used to be half a p. I used to be able to buy sweets for half a p.
So, thank
Sorry.
you for watching. Small, but I think I'm quite happy. Successful.
Yeah.
And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thank you as always for everyone that likes and comments and subscribes. If you haven't already, it is free to do and it does really help our channel. There's a button down below. Yeah, we will see you soon. Don't know where,
don't know how.
Oh.
It's lighting the red.
Yeah. So, yes, thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.